Satnam. Hi Astro friends and family. My name is Karine. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher and also astrologer, and I work on Lada's channel. And today we are going to talk about career and money for 12 signs in 2023. And remember, this is a general reading, so everyone has a different chart. So if you want a specific one for yourself, you can check the link below and you can find the information how to book reading with me. So before we start, just a quick introduction how I read the chart and also how you can use this reading. So I use tropical zodiac and the whole sign house system, and I apply Vedic astrology techniques in all my readings. So please don't use any unequal house system for this reading. Traditionally, people use sidereal zodiac and in Vedic astrology. But Ernst Wilhelm, the teacher that I learned from, if you're interested in astrology, you must have heard of this person. And he stopped using sidereal zodiac for Vedic astrology. I think it's in 2005, because he tests tropical and sidereal for all the Vedic techniques. And tropical trumps every time. So that's why he stopped using sidereal for Vedic astrology, I think at least 10 years ago. So this is where and how I learned from him, and this is also how I'm going to do my readings. And usually I use planetary dristis, like each planet, they have a specific eyesight, and when they shoot the eyesight to different places, that also sends the influence to the houses. But because the topic today is about career and money, so I will only mention the aspect, the dristi that is related to this topic. So not every aspect will be mentioned. So Jupiter will be in Aries from 21st of December and will stay in this sign until 16th of May in 2023. So that means right now, Jupiter is very soon to entering into Aries and will stay there for at least 5 months. And then Jupiter will enter Taurus from 17th of May, and then we will stay there for a year. So until 25th of May 2024. And Saturn will enter in Pisces on 7th of March and will stay there until 13th of February 2026. So almost 3 years time. But in between, Saturn will enter into Aries for a brief time and then will go back to Pisces. So approximately 3 years time. And so this reading is good if you look at from your rising sign as well as your moon sign. In Vedic astrology, apart from the birth chart, they also have this moon chart. So it means that we read everything from the moon's perspective, moon's placements. So your moon signs become your ascendant, your first house. And so you can look at the transits from the moon, and it's called Gochara in Vedic astrology. That's the specific term for that. And you can also, if you like, you can also turn your charts, like your birth chart, and read from your moon placements. Particularly if you're over 50 years old, it's good to look at from your moon chart, because all the planets will be mature during that time. For example, Rahu matures at the age of 42 and Ketu matures at the age of 48. So all the planets and the 2 points, they will be mature. And if you read from your moon, you will also feel more consciously and emotionally connected to the prediction, because moon rules our consciousness and emotions. And this reading, it's not so much about looking at from your sun sign, but if you like listen from your sun sign, you can do that as well. Now, there are several rising signs for next year. They are quite important. They are having a big year next year in 2023. So like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Pisces, and Leo. They all have planets go through their first house, particularly Aries and Taurus. These two signs, they have planets go through their 12th house as well as their first house. So they're having the beginning and also the ending happening at the same time. So this is like big year. Why first house is very important is because when planets transit in the first house, it's the most important transit in life. The first house rules you, your path in life, your identity, who you are. The planets that are transiting through the first house are going to have a profound impact on your growth. And the planets that move through the first house is going to make you who you are, make you become who you're meant to be, and also lay out the path for you. And because the ascendant is always about learning to becoming the best version of you along the path. So when planets move through the first house, each planet will do what it needs to do to help you to become better in your life. For example, different planets, they have different mission. Particularly when planets move through your first house and go retrograde, becomes extremely important. That's why Jupiter and Saturn, when they transit your first house, is always important, because these two planets, they always they go retrograde when they transit in one sign. Venus, Mercury, and Mars, they are fast-moving planets, but when they transit your first house and go retrograde, they become extremely important. Now, Cancer. So Saturn will travel through your 9th house from March and will stay there for 3 years, and Jupiter will move through your 10th house from December to May. And from mid-May, Jupiter will transit to your 11th house and stay there for a year. So start with Saturn. And Saturn transit the 9th house is a neutral position for Saturn, because 9th house is Jupiter's house. And Jupiter and Saturn, they are neutral to each other. So when Saturn transits the 9th house, Saturn doesn't deny the matters that are related to the 9th house. It brings delays though. And after the transits for almost 3 years' time, the results will manifest in the more elegant, streamlined, mature fashion. 9th house rules higher learning, higher education, wisdom, teachers, gurus, spirituality, religion, foreign travels, foreign matters, foreigners, foreign lands. So foreign travel might be difficult during this transit, or there might be some delays or restrictions. But if you work in the professional field that's related to travel, related to tourism, or the job that requires you to travel to different places to do your work, then it will bring more responsibilities. So that means you can have more work trips, like business trips. 9th house rules higher education. If you are thinking to apply for a master degree or PhD, any kind of like higher learning, this is a good time, because Saturn's lessons are always about diligence, determination, hard work, and perseverance. So generally, it's a perfect time to undertake any kind of long-term study, particularly subjects that are related to the 9th house, like spirituality, philosophy, ideology, religion, cultural things, or humanistic stuff, wisdom of any kind, or any kind of academic subject. Ideally, you can choose a program that can last for 2 or 3 years. That's actually fit into Saturn's transit's time. And Saturn transit the 9th house can also be very supportive for a teaching job, or a job that requires to travel, or for trainings. And there will be more workload and responsibilities if you are doing those kind of things. And if you're in academia, or if you're working on the book, working on your dissertation, essay, or if you're in publication, expect some delays in those areas, slow process. And Saturn transit in the 9th house is looking at 11th house, 3rd house, 6th house. And both 11th house and 3rd house, they are houses of desires, like karma houses in Vedic astrology. And 11th house is to do with gains, recognition, trophies. So recognition, promotion, pay rise can be delayed during this time. And also there might be some challenges when it comes to expanding your network circles, or if you're working in the community. And when it comes to your long-term dreams and goals, you can also see some delays. And there might be some limited support from your friends, or from your benefactors, or even from your elderly siblings. And Saturn transit in the 9th house is also looking at the 6th house. So Saturn is also shooting the influence to the 6th house, which is the house of work. So routines and also your health. So there might be some responsibilities and duties at work, more efforts to keep up your routines, because there will be more work responsibilities. And you also need to work extra harder to keep up with your routines and daily activities, your lifestyle. And work might become a source of stress, because Saturn is shooting the influence to that area, and it can make you vulnerable to illness. So pay attention to that and try to find the balance between work and your lifestyle, your health. Now, Jupiter. Jupiter will move through your 10th house from December, like now, until mid-May next year, 2023. And Jupiter transit in the 10th house is like a celebration. It's a great for your career development, career success, and social status. There will be more opportunities and doors open for you regarding your professional development. So usually it's a favorable time for your professional path. And when Jupiter moves through your 10th house, you will see new ways to expand your career, expand your social status, and also your reputation. And 10th house also rules our bosses and supervisors, so or people with power. So during this transit, you might find them standing behind you, backing you all the way, perhaps even bringing you rewards and opportunities for you to shine. And Jupiter usually brings money to the house it's in. So when Jupiter moves through the house of responsibilities and workload, and don't forget earlier we mentioned that Saturn transit in the 9th house is also looking at the 6th house. So it also brings more responsibilities, workload towards your work. So you have like two indicators that indicates there will be more workload next year. Now, Jupiter transit in the 10th house is also looking at the 2nd house and 6th house. So 2nd house is to do with money, investment, accumulated wealth, material possessions. So money situation will improve during this transit, and you might make money with your investments, or it could be that you're able to find resources that are available for you when you need it, like you feel more prosperous, and when you need something, you have the resources that you can utilize. But the amount of money, the amount of help, support, really boils down to the condition of your natal Jupiter. Not everyone is getting big help, big money during this transit, so bear that in mind. And Jupiter will enter 11th house from mid-May and stay there for 1 year until 2024. So 11th house is associated with gains, recognition, titles, trophies, and honor. It rules friend circles, networks, community, marketplace. It rules the long-term dreams and goals. And it also rules our elderly siblings. So money-wise, Jupiter can expand your gains during this transit, particularly financial rewards from your career, because this is second from the 10, and gains from your marketplace or support from the network circles, friends, and elder siblings. So there will be opportunities for you to achieve your goals. But because Saturn transit in the 9th house is also shooting the influence to the 11th house, so the amount of gains will be reduced. And even though there might be some opportunities for you for new sources of income, it might have some complications and challenges that you have to overcome as well. So it's not a smooth sailing, and you may not see the fruits, the results during the transit either, because Saturn brings delays to those subjects. And when when Jupiter transit in the 11th house, it brings opportunities to achieve, whether it's your professional recognition or your financial achievements. But like I said, the Saturn transit in the 9th house is also looking at the 11th house. So it affects Jupiter's blessings and luck. So you will still need to work extra hard, persevere towards your goal, and perhaps experience some delays and challenges. Okay, so that was a brief review about your career and money in the upcoming year. I wish you a year of abundance, support, love, wisdom, and guidance. And if you need a personal reading, you can find the information in the link below. Thank you.